So we're here with High Desert Middle School Principal Michelle Van Ornum, and we're so happy to finally have this interview because you have been an outstanding gem in this district to so many people. As a teacher, as so much more, you know, with ASB and all the extras that you did as a teacher and now as a principal moving into that position when there was such a need here for that. And so we're going to talk about your new position today, and you can elaborate on how that's been, because I know there's a big difference transitioning from teacher to principal. But we're so happy to have you with us. And I want to first start off with what do you feel has been your biggest challenge coming into this new position of principal from teacher?
So my biggest challenge, I think, has been everybody's biggest challenge, and that's COVID. Mm-hmm. I entered a new position at a time when there was a lot of transition. COVID has dealt a lot of challenges to us. And the biggest challenge for us has been change. Mm-hmm. That the rules, the regulations, those kind of things, they are ever changing. And so we as a school need to consistently change with them. And trying to lead and keep everybody on the same page and keep communication consistent and that kind of thing in an already challenging year, I think that's been my biggest challenge. The helping students and staff to overcome those challenges between quarantines and different people being off campus, and how do we serve the needs of our students that are while they're at home and serve the needs of the students that are in the classroom. They're not just my challenge, they're a challenge that we've been facing as a district and really as a nation. Mm-hmm. Because everybody everywhere is dealing with the same type of challenges. One of the things that I have found that has helped me in working through these challenges is showing gratitude. And I have found a lot of success in showing gratitude for the things that are going okay and trying to really focus my mindset and the kids and teachers on, okay, yes, there's all of these things going on, but what do we still have that's going okay, and how can we capitalize on that to continue to grow and move forward? Mm-hmm. And so I've really tried to shift the focus this year on being grateful and just expressing gratitude to everyone around me for the things, because the little things that we do every day that keep us moving forward are what make the biggest impact.
Right.
So.
What do you feel are some similarities and some changes from being a teacher and working with students to becoming their site leader and going into that position? So can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so when I first got hired into this position, one of the board members said to me that the four walls of my classroom just got a lot bigger. Mm-hmm. And they extended now from fence to fence. And I really took that to heart, and I didn't at the time when it was said realize what that really meant. Mm-hmm. And I think that has been the biggest eye-opening experience for me of truly, I have 280 students now instead of 30 or 40 in a classroom.
Right.
And when I make decisions, having that mindset shift of you're not just doing what's best for your kids in your classroom at that time. Every single decision has to look through the lens of, okay, what's best for the group? What's best for all of the staff members? What's best for all of the students? And really trying to make the best decision that is best for the largest number of people. That has been my biggest shift. I still love going into classrooms, popping in and being able to support students. I love that I have that connection with the kids from when I was in the classroom. I think mm-hmm. that makes this unique, and that having that connection has been a great experience for me, and it's helped keep me grounded in this position, and really connected to the students. And I think that's important as an administrator. I think being grounded is really important, and mm-hmm. not forgetting what it's like to be in the classroom and what it's like to have students day in and day out. As far as similarities, the needs of the students, they've increased this year with our increase in SEL needs and things like that. But overall, middle school kids are still middle school kids, and I love it. I love being at the middle school, and I love that age and the opportunity that we have at the middle school age to really make a difference for the kids, and to say that they're at such a critical age where we can influence who they're going to continue to become and what path that they're going to take. And so I take that opportunity very seriously, just as when I was in the classroom. And I think that my biggest strength when I was in the classroom was my connection with the students and my ability to relate to and communicate with them. And so I've tried to capitalize on that and expand that to be communicating with families and parents and staff members, and really having High Desert function as one big family where we're all looking out for the best interest of each other and working together to move forward to bring the whole campus to another level.
Okay, yeah. What are some of the things you are implementing this year at High Desert, or that you have implemented so far?
So prior to entering this position, I kind of reflected on, I've had a lot of administrators come and go over the 18 years that I've been here. A lot of administrators. And when you serve in a leadership capacity like I have, you see a lot of things. And you see kind of what works and what doesn't work. And so, over the summer I did a lot of reflecting to say, okay, what worked and what didn't work on past administrators? What are things that worked for me when I was in the classroom, that worked for me when I was in leadership roles? Because those are things and those are the reasons that people wanted me in this position, is because of those strengths. And so how can I use those strengths as opportunities to help us grow all together? One of the things that I reflected on was communication. I think that a lack of communication was a struggle for many of the administrators that have come through High Desert. And so that I started with as my biggest focus, is I wanted to make sure that we were ensuring our communication was always steadfast and accurate and consistent. And I think that it allows us to be effective educators if we're all on the same page and we're working together as a community. And so that was really what I began the year with, was communication. We put out weekly newsletters. The other thing was with our committees, really trying to branch out. And I worked in coordination with our Booster Club president at the beginning of the year, Dawn Schneider, and we kind of set out on a path to bring more people in. And she was working on her recruitment with Booster Club specifically, and getting more people to join Booster Club and making everybody feel like they had a role and they had a purpose on the committee. And I set out with the staff members and made sure that every single staff member is on a committee at High Desert, because we have, for too long, it's been a small number of people doing all the many different things. And I really feel that everyone benefits when they feel like they have a pivotal piece of the moving forward of the school.
Right.
And so if you look at our committees, if you look at Schools to Watch, we had Mr. Pelham and Ms. Rosenfeld and Mrs. Alford that were part of our Schools to Watch writing committee. They hadn't been on committees before, and they helped us write our plan that earned us the Schools to Watch award. We have a School Site Council. We have PBIS. Every single staff member on this campus has a part and has input. I implemented meetings with our classified staff. We didn't have meetings with our classified staff to go over what do you do and how do you do your job, and we started with a lot of new classified staff, and so we started meeting with them to say, okay, how can we support you with training, and what are your questions, and providing them with that forum. Really making faculty meetings, two-way communication, to say, okay, what are your concerns, what are the things, what are the goals we want to set as a staff. Leadership, same thing, utilizing leadership really as true leaders. The leadership team relays out to the rest of the group, and they share out communication, and they are the modes of communication with the rest of the staff for in-between meetings, and making sure that communication is consistent. The other thing that I did was electronically, I wanted to make sure that all of the communication, every single document, every single item that we need is at people's fingertips. I don't want them to have to go searching. So we made a Google Shared Drive, and every single thing that we need is in there. And if somebody wants to reflect on a faculty meeting, or hey, what happened at this, they have instant access to it. Updating our website was another priority, again with communication, making sure that all the parents have access. Our Google web calendar is always up to date. Our website is up to date. In working with the district added a new DLAC page. In line with that, we added an ELAC page to ours in trying to really bridge the gap of communication with all of our community partners. Because we really are all in this together as educators and parents and families. And the best way that everybody can feel part of the team is to be part of the communication. And so all of those things that we implemented really stemmed around a key focus on communication, but it was always all done in a variety of different ways.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's a big piece. That's important right now.
yeah.
What are you most proud of this year? There's so much, I know, but what are some things that really stick out that you're most proud of this year that you've been a part of? Or
I would say the number one thing would be, I guess there's two main. I'm really proud of our Schools to Watch award. And I'm super excited for the assembly that's going to be next week. It really is going to be a giant celebration of all of the things that make High Desert amazing. I am proud to be a Hawk every single day. I am proud to sit in this office, and I'm proud to represent High Desert. And I hope that that shows in everything that we do, because I want our students to also be proud to be Hawks. And I want them to be excited to come to school and to see their teachers and our staff. And so I really feel that that award symbolizes all of the hard work that we've put in over many, many, many years growing this school into what it is today. And it also represents our plan for the future. You know, in there we have to write what are our goals? What are the things that we want to accomplish that we feel is going to help our school move into the next 3 years and a redesignation 3 years from now? Because we have to reapply every 3 years to say that we are still eligible as a school to watch.
wow.
And so it's not a one and done. It's a constant process of reflecting, revising, reevaluating, and determining that we still hold that status. It also gives us connections with other schools, so it allows us the opportunity to connect with other schools to watch. And there's nothing better than connecting with other schools that are in your same boat and brainstorming together to say, hey, what are you doing? And hey, what are we doing? And sharing ideas and having your ideas valued by people in the field that are in the trenches, that know what you're going through every day.
Yeah.
The second thing that I would say is I'm so proud of our staff. I really am proud of our staff. Every single day they show up with one goal: to educate and take care of our students. And their resiliency over a super difficult year cannot be expressed loud enough. They put their heart and soul into every single day. They're here every day with students. They know what the students need. We trust them with our students, and I trust them with our students. And I know that they are doing their very best every day to make this education experience amazing for our students. And every single one of our staff members goes above and beyond. You know, our maintenance guy is working on all kinds of things. We have tetherball poles coming and more things on the blacktop for playground type things for our students to do. Mm-hmm. We have, maintenance that keeps our bathrooms clean and has dealt with every challenge, from TikTok challenges to everything else, and making sure our campus stays safe.
Yeah.
Maria and our maintenance is fantastic. Our office staff, they're amazing. Like, you walk in and they always have a smile on their face, even when everything, they're like the ducks on the pond where they're frantically swimming below. But on the surface, they are so professional.
They're very friendly.
And just so friendly.
Yeah.
And I feel like our staff is the same way. Our supervision, our aides in the classroom, these people are in the trenches every day. High Desert is what High Desert is because of them.
Yeah.
And
it's challenging because we went from, totally online learning, and then the option of in-person or online, and then all of the weekly changes with the county on the health updates. So it's been challenging. I'd have to say this school year, because there was in-person, it almost made it more challenging because it's not a total 100% normal in person.
Right.
So, and then there's the families that choose to still do the online. So it's really pulling double, triple duty for some of these teachers to figure out which lessons plans work for the kids that are here and the kids that, I mean, it's hard stuff.
Yeah.
It's challenging, and even for the most seasoned teachers, I can't even imagine.
And I don't know too many professions
Yeah.
where in the past 3 years they've been asked to reinvent everything that they do this number of times, right?
Yes, that's a
Like-
very good way to look at it.
They literally are reinventing.
Shiloh?